Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. My goal is to share my decades of trading experience to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, and also gain real wealth in the process. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently 52,624, up 1.62%. Ethereum 3904, down 0.57%. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. Rule 174, T-Cube, Trend Timing and Trigger. We're going to look at trend using the KS process. The first thing we're going to do is look at KS wealth analysis. It's really important to be focusing on the right things and getting yourself mentally prepared for the volatility that's really inherent in the crypto market. Our community is all about real wealth. Real wealth is about affection, loyalty, kindness, integrity, decency, authenticity, inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, as well as money. You can literally have it all. You can have a nice life and a comfortable life and a wealthy life and have meaning and fulfillment at the same time. Paolo said it really well. It's best to accept life as it really is and not as you imagine it to be. We can imagine all sorts of things, and that can create negative wealth or shadow wealth. It's important to understand that when we hold on to a perception that life has to be one way, it can easily lead to conflict and unhappiness. Lao Tzu had some advice to give us. Lao Tzu said, "Let reality be reality. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they would like." This is a really important concept in investing and trading, and it's important to remember all investors become traders whenever they buy or sell. The most profitable traders and the most profitable investors always let reality dictate the scenario. They don't get ahead of things. They let price and reality unfold before them, and then they just react to what reality gives them. Accepting reality takes strength and courage. It does, because the media is always telling us how to think and how to feel, how to act, and how to set our goals. When you use strength and courage to just accept reality in whatever way, shape, and form it presents itself to you, you can understand that you have a much more satisfying life. You're not worried about what things could be. You're worrying about what they actually are, and you just take corrective action based on that, based on the facts. We're actually going to talk a lot more about reality in the next series, the next episode on timing. It's a really, really important concept and topic to cover off. I'd like to thank the very kind and generous members of our community that have reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. The next thing we look at is investment substitutability. Money can be put in an almost infinite variety of places. It could, for example, be put in stocks. The S&P 500, the proxy for stocks, up 35% over the past 12 months. Gold, precious metals, down 6% over the past 12 months. Bitcoin up 411%. We're going to look at the Bitcoin trend now. We use the KS model. The KS model is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology. Current price action is in the bull market psychology phase of the market cycle. When we get out of the bull market psychology phase, we enter the bear market where prices decrease substantially. Then we go through a consolidation phase and it restarts all over again. It's really important in the KS model to compare the same psychologies. That is the sunshine of the bull market to the sunshine of past bull markets. Compare the darkness of the bear market to the darkness of the bear market. When we compare sunshine to darkness to dawn in the same breath, we create very statistically confusing and mathematically incoherent analyses. I say that because I used to lecture first and second year stats for many years, and this was a problem that I saw in the media all the time. Another thing to bear in mind is that there are black swan events, these lightning bolts, that happen all the time in markets. That is not a normal part of price action. Black swan events need to be normalized. Let's zoom into this particular area and see how price could behave. I've just highlighted September for you here. Many market commentators were suggesting that September would be a dramatic sell-off. I don't see any evidence of that in the reality of price movement. This is why it's so important to track reality, not people's opinions. We can see price has clearly broken resistance here. This is really, really important. And around the $50,000 mark is also now support. We can see the price could retrace and test that $50,000 level, but that's neither here nor there. The trajectory, the direction of the market is currently up. When we look at Bitcoin, the number of addresses with a non-zero balance, we can see in the past bull market sunshine, we had this exponential ramping up of addresses. We can see in the current price action, we're just getting started. Looking at the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator, we can see money is flowing into stablecoins and also flowing back out to Bitcoin. This is a really, really positive sign. Let's turn our attention to crypto stocks, ETFs. Looking at crypto stocks, which is Bitcoin, compared to public companies with Bitcoin exposure, there's a bit of a holiday in the US at the moment, but some European markets are open, of course. We can see here that as of the close of the US market, HUT8 was doing very well. One thing that should draw your attention is ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, and Argo blockchain. You can see them upticking with Bitcoin's price action, which is going up. Argo has taken a little bit of a dip here, but you can see that the basic structure is upward following Bitcoin's price action. Now, how do you use that? You could think that when the US market opens, these public companies with Bitcoin exposure could do quite well. Just reading them out in terms of greatest percent gains, over the past 2 weeks, we can see HUT out in front, followed by Galaxy Digital, Marathon Digital, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, Hive Blockchain, BTBT, SI, BitF, Coin, Voyager Digital, and then Bitcoin. Below Bitcoin, Argo Blockchain, MicroStrategy, and Riot Blockchain. Let's compare Bitcoin to the Bitcoin ETFs and ETPs. We can see over the past 30 days that out in front is BitW, Bitwise 10 Crypto, followed by Bitcoin. Underneath Bitcoin is BitC, that's CoinShares physical Bitcoin, 21XB, GDLC, the Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, which we've seen has had a massive sell-off. We'll look into the components shortly. Followed by EBIT, QBTC, BitC, BitCX, BTCQ, BTCC, GBTC, and OBTC coming in last position. That's the Osprey Bitcoin Trust. The components of Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash, Chainlink, Litecoin. Let's see if that recent sell-off has anything to do with what it's holding in the fund. The most important thing to keep in mind here, Bitcoin is 62.8% and Ethereum is 28.6%. The rest of the fund components, Cardano 6% and Chainlink Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin all under 1%. We can see zooming in on the one-day chart, there's nothing going on with Bitcoin. In fact, Bitcoin is appreciating in value. Ethereum is slowing down a little bit, but that is a consolidation. We can see consolidation in Cardano's price as well. Bitcoin Cash is coming up. We've had a little bit of retracement here on Litecoin, and Chainlink has been going up. So none of the crypto holdings can explain the very large reduction in GDLC. Let's now have a look at market indexes. It's really important to make probabilities your trusted advisor and not your fear, and also to deal with problems when they occur and not before. We're really grounded in reality in our community. We just deal with anything as it occurs. We don't try to get in front of it. If you do, that's a great way to not only cause a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress, because it may or may not happen, but the other thing is, when it comes to trading and investing, it can cost you an enormous amount of money. Turning to global markets, we can see markets across the world have done reasonably well. Russia is up, Japan is up, India is up, Brazil is up, Mexico is up, slight decrease in the US, Australia and China, but also Europe is doing really well across, and Canada. We don't see any problems in this particular view of the market. It's often helpful to get an understanding of where different economies are in the business cycle. This is from Fidelity Institutional. We can see the US is near mid-cycle. Canada, just in recovery. China, almost moving to expansion. India, early stage. Korea, early stage. Japan, early stage. Mexico, early stage. Brazil, early stage to UK, moving into recovery. Germany, moving into recovery, as is Italy, France, Australia, and Spain. I'd like to introduce you to Rule 17. Question required certainty. If you think that things must be a certain way, it's almost that you're inviting losses upon yourself. I only say this because I've been trading for over 3 decades. It's really important to just let reality play out in front of you. When I was starting, I knew how things should go. After all, I did a finance degree in actuarial science and I knew my numbers and maths, but I realized that things go the way that they go. As soon as I harnessed this concept, Rule 17, to question any required certainty, it literally turned the corner. I hope it does the same for you. I hope it helps. Another important thing is Rule 109, enhance pattern recognition. If you can get used to seeing patterns and seeing how patterns interact with each other, it's a really, really good thing to do. It can make you more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. It's important to say that nothing has changed here. The markets in the US remain closed, but we can see the upward price pressure trajectory of the Nasdaq. Fear has been leaving the market. Bitcoin is moving its way up. The S&P 500 is moving up. The Dow is a little bit flat and potentially on a downward slope. The Russell 2000 is going for it. That's a technical term. It's going up. This is definitely interesting. Bitcoin compared to the DXY, the US dollar currency index, we can see the US dollar currency index is decreasing. Bitcoin is increasing. This is one of the things I say about certainty. A lot of people say the US dollar, the DXY, moves directly proportionally or inversely. One goes up, one goes down. They can say all sorts of things. Just look at the reality. Everything is changing, always synchronizing and desynchronizing. It's important to know that the DXY and Bitcoin are governed by different cycles too. However, as in all things, there are exceptions. The dollar does definitely impact gold, copper, silver, palladium, and platinum. We can see the inverse DXY giving a bit of an indication as to the directional bias of precious metals. We can see that the DXY leveled out around the 19th of August. Gold is in an uptrend now, as is silver, palladium, platinum, and copper. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Compared to bond yields, we can see Bitcoin is increasing. The 10-year and the 30-year bond yield, the TNX and the TYX, are also increasing. We can see quite a degree of correlation or association between these two data sets. That does not mean causation. Comparing Bitcoin to inflation expectations, we can see inflation was decreasing, as was Bitcoin. Inflation is increasing, as is Bitcoin. Again, correlation does not mean causation. It doesn't mean increased inflation causes Bitcoin to go up. A lot of people say that, but a lot of people also seek very simplistic answers to very, very complex questions. If you hear things in the mainstream media news, it's important to look at that with a grain of salt. People seek to explain things, explain behaviors, and literally over 30 years, I can say pretty much nobody knows. The only thing that you can do is to track the actual price movements. That's the important thing to do. News can be incredibly misleading. Comparing Bitcoin to the transportation indexes and airlines, we can see the transport indexes came down. They have since been recovering, just like the precious metals have. Bitcoin is on the way up. Again, we don't assume any causality. There is association here, definitely, but we do not say because transport indexes are going up, Bitcoin is going up. What happens when they go down and Bitcoin keeps going up? Let's have a look at Brent oil and crude oil compared to Bitcoin. It's really interesting to look at this. You would say, oh, Brent and crude went up and Bitcoin came down, and then Brent and crude went down and Bitcoin came up. There's got to be an inverse relationship here. If Brent and crude go up, that means Bitcoin must come down. Okay, let's prove that out. Let's go back a bit. What's happening? Oh, now they're moving in the same direction. What happened? We had a absolutely rock solid association here. I told you, people always in the media are always saying, oh, this is a law, this happened and it will always happen. That's the fastest way to learn how to lose money, is to actually follow the news. This is a real gem. I hope you like it. It's really, really important to know about synchronization. Things tend to synchronize and then they desynchronize. Its financial data is really, really complex, and the media does not have your best interests at heart. Now, Ken, you say, Ken, why do you say that? The news is my friend. The news is always telling me what's happening. Without the news, I couldn't possibly do anything. Actually, I tell you what, I'll tell you another secret. The news is there for advertisers. It's not there for you. The news stories are always typically, well, not always, but typically written from a concept of, oh, this is a big shock. Oh no, what could happen? Crisis ahead. That is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And then they can go the other way into FOMO. Oh, it'll never be cheaper. Everything is fantastic. The last chance to buy. Special sale. The problem is that that sells media space, but it doesn't help you. If you really want to get help, just look at the reality of price action. That's all we do inside this community. I'll just give you another example. Looking at Bitcoin, because you've stayed to the end, I really want to honor that. When we see a lot of extreme greed in the market, that's because prices have been coming up and up and up and up. Extreme greed usually signifies some kind of profit taking will occur. That's always because we have longs and shorts inside the market. Short sellers come in when there's a lot of excess profit and excess optimism. Longs come into the market when there's a lot of excess pessimism. Now, what typically happens? The media bids the price up, and then a lot of people end up buying at the top. When prices come down, the media says, oh my goodness, this is going to 20,000, 15,000, 10,000. It's all over. And our community just looked at the price information and what was happening with price, and we knew that was simply not the case, but we were kind of a lone voice. And this is actually why I started the channel. I started the channel back here because I was very disappointed in a lot of influencers leading people astray and misinterpreting mathematical things. So I just wanted to hop in and help where I could. I never knew that the community would turn out the way it has, and I'm very happy it has. It's really beautiful. But have a look here. Everybody was full of fear that the crash to 10,000 was imminent, and I steadfastly said, I don't see anything in the statistics of the market, in the financials of the market. What I actually see is that we're going to rally. And then people talked about the 200-day moving averages, quicksand, and all sorts of things. And people reached out to me and said, oh, Ken, what about this? And I said, oh, well, it's going to be proven wrong. It's not important. But everybody, of course, is entitled to their own opinion. We are seeing now the price is increasing. The reason I put these moving averages in, not because I use them, but a lot of people do. I just want to help out where I can. And I can hear you say, Ken, but hang on a second, there's a lot of extreme greed in the market right now. What's going to happen? Is it going to crash? I would suggest that we have so much support at that $50,000 level. Price is always moving in a wave. It's always going up and down. We don't care if price comes down to retest that 50,000. There's a greater than 98% probability that if it does that, it's going to continue up. This is very, very common price behavior, especially in the crypto market. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from and if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube and don't forget to hit the bell notification icon as content comes out at random times during the day and night. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care. And see you next time. Bye for now. Oh, you're still here. Fantastic. You're really special to me. Please let me know in the comments on YouTube what you would like for me to cover off in future episodes. Just something that will help you out. I'd really love that for you, to do that for you. Thanks again, and bye for now.